That's what I thought about. They put me back in.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
You're mad, I'm back.
Guess who's back?
He's mad, she's mad.
Guess who's back?
Don't care, stay mad.
And here we go.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nintendo Talk Live. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the amazing, the most wonderful host on the planet, Mr. Joe After Work. What is up?
Aye, Captain. How's it going, man?
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. And we're joined by RYBO. RYBO makes his first appearance on anything that I do. What's up, man?
I'm just dancing.
Let's
I hear songs in my head all the time.
This is
You
good.
ever notice that Sean Connery's name fits into any song lyric?
I didn't notice that at all.
Like next time you listen to TNT by AC/DC,
Okay.
tell me you don't hear Sean Capri.
Oh my God.
Dynamite. Tell me you don't hear that.
I don't. Please stop. Please stop. I gotta. You know what? I gotta deal with this guy. Please stop.
We're off the show 10 seconds after we start.
Anyway,
That's
let's kick
clever,
this
Craig
episode
Michael.
off like we do each and every episode with our geek outs. Mr. Joe After Work. What are you?
Yo.
What are you geeking out about this week?
You had me stop before, rightfully so, because I'm really excited about this. But my Nintendo's getting more and more store stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, save your platinum coins. They're actually worth something now. They got Super Mario 3D All-Star poster set on there for 800 coins. The only thing you really have to pay for is shipping, which seems to usually be like $5 for
Yeah.
these things from what I've ordered so far. But yeah, so I'm happy that platinum coins are finally of use other than wallpapers, but I'm kind of upset that I've spent all my platinum coins on wallpapers. So now I gotta wait a couple days, enter the eShop to actually save up enough to get the damn posters if they're still available by the time I get them.
I've made an executive decision here. I think I got to figure
Oh,
something
no.
out here. We gotta go ahead, RYBO. I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak. Or what are you geeking out about, sir?
Well, first of all, and don't forget those coins expire because I've lost
Yeah.
600 coins.
Yeah, I've lost a bunch before
Mhm.
too.
I'm geeking out about just being here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, here I am with you two beautiful people.
Oh, stop!
Well, one beautiful person and a guy who suddenly has hair, and
Wow, it's like that.
and if I can get heavy for a second, it's been a long year.
Yes.
It's kind of a miracle that I am here in general, and so yeah. But the other thing I'm going to mention that I'm geeking out about is this great new Twitter account. Have you seen it?
No, what is it?
It's Nin Guru Gifts. It is an amazing account.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nin Guru Gifts. Well, it's a good thing Twitter's down right now.
So go follow it, people. When Twitter isn't down. There you go.
You know what? I was geeking out about a Mac that I got right today, but now I'm actually geeking out that you are a huge Batman fan, and I am so happy that I am here to see how much of a Batman fan you are. I am ecstatic right now. I didn't even know that you had posters on your wall of Batman. I am so happy for you, RYBO.
You dirty, rotten bastard.
I've missed an inside joke there
Listen,
somewhere.
I
but-
told you to take it down. You don't want to listen to me. I got ways to fix
I
that.
covered it up.
Well, I covered it up better, so we're good. We're good. Anyway, listen, I am geeking out about my new Mac King today. I am loving it. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm loving the fact that I got it. I'm really hyped up about it. The box is huge. I'm like 27 inches. I'm like, this thing's going to be amazing. I can't wait. It's going to be, it's blurred out, thank God.
I love the fact that nobody stole it off your porch.
Well, there's all old people around here, so they're not going to do anything. I got an old Joe. Don't get yourself banned, okay? Don't get yourself banned.
This
Joe.
is great.
I got like old people around, so they're not even thinking about it at the moment.
You're old.
Huh?
Aren't you old?
They're older. Like they're like
Oh.
in their 70s. They don't even know what a computer is. They probably looked over there like, "What's that box, Martha?" I don't know. It's a bunch of apples.
Apple.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
So it's whatever. What else was I geeking out about? I had something else I was pretty hyped up about too, and I can't even remember it. I don't know.
I can help.
Go ahead. What's that?
It was that Ninguru Gifts Twitter
Oh,
page,
well,
which will
just
work
stop it.
actually if you hit the follow button. Twitter still works for follow buttons, so
I can't do anything on Twitter right now, so I could care less about Twitter.
it's quite amazing,
Twitter
Bobby.
is a joke. Twitter is
quite amazing.
trash.
Whoever created that is a real humanitarian.
Deserves medals. I tell you.
Oh boy, we're gonna have the quickest show ever tonight. I can see it. It's gonna be the fastest ending show ever.
I warned you.
Oh, you know what I'm geeking out about? This is what I'm geeking out. Well, we could talk. We could kind of take this into. I don't know whether to geek out about it or we'll talk about it after. We're gonna talk about it in a little bit, so we're gonna save that. RYBO, but this show's about you. So I want to start off with this. For those that don't know, you can follow RYBO on Twitter at RYBOFlavins and whatever that new geek guru gifts, whatever the hell that thing is. What's the name of the Twitter handle?
Nin Guru Gifts. I
That's-
just found it.
I'm sure you did just find it. I'm sure you did just find it. Anyway, those are his handles. Check them out all over the internet. You'll enjoy it. He's also in our Discord. Here's the thing I want to start off with. We start off each and every show with three questions. Basically, we gear this towards new guests, so we can kind of get a little feel about the guest leading into the show. Number one, you're a huge Batman fan. I can respect it. I love it. Secondly, what was the first Nintendo console that you ever owned?
Oh, the NES. Absolutely.
And how did you acquire it? How'd you get it?
That was the Christmas gift of whatever year that was. You know, I didn't get the fancy one with the blaster. I had the basic one with Mario, just Mario 1.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing it. I couldn't get through that first level that year. I don't know how old I was.
What were you,
I can't remember.
I would assume it got to be at least 25 at that point, right?
Well, in Bobby years.
No. Don't be spinning it on me, man. Don't spin it on me.
Well, it's a whole different unit of time measurement.
It's
like dog years.
I got you.
And then there's Bobby years. What are dog years? About 7 years. So Bobby's like 9
Yeah. Oh, boy.
for
Here
every
we go.
one of ours.
Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, I see where this is going. Okay, so, but you got it for Christmas.
Yep.
What was your thoughts when you got it? Like, you had to be what? You had to be
Oh,
like 10, 12, right?
I don't know. What year was that?
It was 85, wasn't it?
Okay,
Sounds
so I
right,
was
yeah,
a
because that
little-
would
I
be
was
35
later to the
years.
game. I mean, I was born in 82,
Mario.
so
You were born in
I
82?
wasn't 3. Yeah.
Oh, man, I thought you were older than that. Damn.
Well, it's the dashing gray hair.
85 would be right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were 3
I
when you got
probably
it?
didn't get it till like 88 or so.
So you were probably a little bit older when your parents bought it for you.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
so, okay, so,
I mean, I was PC, and then I had the PC for a little while just before the NES.
now that explains so much.
I had this really old PC,
That explains a lot. A lot.
and and I remember playing that first level, and I could not finish that first level.
Yeah.
And the neighbor came over because he had to see somebody had an NES. Nobody else had one in
Yeah.
this sort of area. There was like Ataris and things. And he did it on the first try.
Wait a minute. I like how he goes Ataris and things. Like it's so disgusting that like his name owned an Atari.
Well, this isn't Atari talk.
No, I know. But listen, it was like because at the time, for those that don't know, like Atari was the be all end all up to that point. Then a huge gaming crash happens because Atari just starts throwing out all this garbage that people were buying. And it crashed. The whole video game industry crashed, and then Nintendo kind of did like a Trojan horse effect to get it back revitalized. So you are right to say that, like, oh, it's not Atari. Like, yeah, you're right because it was such a bad time for gaming. Yes. What was the first Nintendo console you bought with your own money?
Well, you'd think it would be the N64, but it actually wasn't. I bought a PlayStation that generation. So shout out to the podcast For the Players by the Players. And no, okay.
Wrong Joe.
Instead, it was the GameCube. I do have an N64 now, but it was the GameCube was the first one.
Can you have a little respect for the people that are here in front of you? Just a little respect for us.
Oh, this
here?
episode's awesome already.
He's probably not even here. He's probably not even here. That's how much he respects us. He isn't even in the chat. So don't be over here kissing his tookus all night long, okay?
Oh, that was great. Keep it.
Yeah, the GameCube with a copy of WrestleMania X7.
Ooh, that was bad.
Because I was always jealous of not getting to play the
No Mercy.
Was it the Aki? No Mercy in WrestleMania.
So good, man. They were so good.
I had the WCW World Tour for the PlayStation 1, which was sort of like those games.
Good.
Very similar.
So good.
But yeah, I didn't have them. So I bought WrestleMania X7.
I've heard rumors that WCW versus NWO was probably the best on the N64. It was kind of the prelude to No Mercy.
Depends on who you ask, but yeah.
Because they lost the license to
solid
WCW and picked up the WWE license, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one you bought was the GameCube, which I was not a fan of that console. I really
Eternal
wasn't.
Darkness. Did you put Eternal Darkness on the little?
No, it's Walker. I couldn't do that to the people. I had to give the people what they really needed to see, not Eternal Darkness.
Really needed to see.
Joey Splats, just so you know, I formally requested Eternal Darkness be on my wallpaper, but he didn't do it.
I gave you the better looking wallpaper.
Is he here?
No, he's sleeping probably. It's late, man.
It is 1 a.m.
It's like midnight.
Is Sean Capri here? Did he hear my lovely ode to him and his name?
Probably not.
No?
Okay.
Nobody?
Let's get the thing back on the rails. Okay, don't worry about who's here. Let's worry about what we're talking about. So, what is your favorite Nintendo console?
The Super Nintendo.
Oh.
Okay,
Still, let me start this off with you. That is my favorite console of all time. But the fact that even with the Switch out now, you didn't go, the Switch, like everybody else does. You're holding to, because I'm the same mentality, and I think we're probably in the same wavelength here. But explain your process. Why is it your favorite console?
Well, aside from Link's Awakening being my favorite game, Super Mario World is in my top 3.
Okay.
So you have that game. You have the origins of Mario Kart, right? You have Link to the Past, which
my
is
favorite,
right there.
My favorite Zelda
right?
game of all time.
So you just had a Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6, 3, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You have so many just classic games that still live up today because pixels, and as we're seeing with Mario All-Stars, pixels just, the 2D stuff is timeless.
It's timeless.
Aged so well.
I'm of the same mindset. I feel like right now, it is not the best. The Switch is not the best console. Does it have the chops and the ability to become that? I'm sure. When we're said and done, it might actually become, in my opinion, the best Nintendo console that they've ever put out. That being said, I'm of the same mindset of you with the Super Nintendo. Everything that was amazing on the NES just became even that much better on the Super Nintendo. They just ramped it up so much that it was like, hey man, this is the things you love. You love Zelda. We're going to give you a sequel that's not really a sequel to Zelda. You love Super Mario Brothers. We're going to give you a sequel that's kind of Super Mario, but it's not Super Mario. Castlevania 1 versus Castlevania 2. We're going to give you a bunch of Mega Man games, all this stuff, right? Then they go, hey, here's the Super Nintendo. We're going to give you the true sequel that you love to Zelda. Here's an amazing sequel to a Mario game. We're gonna launch the whole RPG world on you. Like, nobody knew what RPGs really were. They knew a little bit because they were kind of starting to make their way on the NES. But they really didn't know until bang, they hit us with like you said, Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 2 and 3, which is 4 and 6. Dude, it was just amazing.
And
such an amazing time.
some classic sports games.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, NHL 94, 95, and the timeless game in the sports genre, Kirby's Dream Course, which really is just a fantastic game.
You're really trying.
waiting for.
I moved Batman now. I should put it back after that comment.
I was gonna say, where's NBA Jam? Where's NCAA?
I know, good stuff.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's just so many classic games on that system, and there's so many classics on the Switch as well. But there's just something about the.
He's stroking the
timeless
beard.
nature.
There's going to be a time that I'm going to look back in history and go, someone is going to bring it up to me. What is your most regretful episode of all the podcasts that you've ever done? This one's going down as it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you are trying to trigger me so badly. I want the truth out of you, and you are literally just throwing stuff out to throw daggers at me and get me fired up.
I love Kirby's Dream Course.
Well, you got serious mental issues. Because the first mistake is that stupid banner back behind you and the parking bumper thing, whatever, the parking plate. And then you come with Kirby. It's like doing anything with Sean Capri.
I need to mute myself.
Hey, Joe, can you bring up that Ninguru Gifts again?
No.
It is a pretty good profile pic.
That's another one. There's another thing. Okay, so what are you? Let's jump into Mario All-Stars, because you basically told us before we started, like, you had some stuff you wanted to talk about with this. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not loving it the way I thought I would love it. I bought it, I have it, but I'm not in love with this game. And I'm curious, Joe, I know you were playing a lot of it, but you kind of stopped playing it as well, too. So I don't know whether that is a reason or maybe you just want to do other stuff. And then, RYBO, where are you at with all this stuff?
What do you want?
Go, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, with Mario 35, yeah, I plan on going back to it. It's
Not
one of those
not
things
Mario
where it's
35, Mario All-Stars.
Sorry.
Mario 3D All-Stars.
Sorry, my brain. There we go. Yeah, with 3D collection, I still want to go back and finish 64 because like that for me that's always nostalgia. No matter how bad that game controls, like it's just got a special spot for me there. And I still haven't played Sunshine I played a little bit of it, but I mean like actually like go through and beaten that. Like I do plan on playing through those, but for me, I was like Pikmin demo dropped. Now the Kingdom Hearts demo dropped. I wanted to finish Shantae Risky's Revenge, so it was like, all right, you know what? Nostalgia can hold off. That'll be there forever. Like, I'll be good. But it's funny because I'm seeing on Twitter, and I've seen it a few times within like the last couple of weeks that this game has dropped, how many people really hate Sunshine for the controls. So I'm a little worried because I'm like, all right, it can't be that bad, can it? Because like I was annoyed a bit at some of it, but like I don't feel like I was completely frustrated to the point that I had to like vent it out sort of thing. Like it does show its age, and Mario 64 for damn sure shows its age as well. But it's like one of those things where when you're a kid and that's like kind of the only game you get for a while, you just play the crap out of it. That's the sort of feeling that I get with those games. So the long answer is yes. I'm gonna go through, and I've enjoyed what I played so far. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but like there's people out there that don't feel the same way as I do about it.
Yeah, my thing is it's just Sunshine's broken. There's some serious bugs in that game. It's broken, man, and it's hard for me. Like I just really wish they would have fixed it. Like they admitted that they rushed that game, because people were screaming that Luigi's Mansion was not the launch game they wanted for the GameCube. So they rushed out Sunshine. And I don't feel like Sunshine is a great game. It's a good game, but it's not great. And it doesn't feel like a platformer, as opposed to like 64 and Galaxy and stuff. Like just feels kind of weird, you know. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, they took away the platforming element. When you think about it, it's got the height. You got the flood, and that's like the main mechanic there, and it kind of like is cheesing platforming a bit. The real challenge is when you go into those little warp areas and you've got no flood and you've actually got to go through. Those series are awesome, and they play really well. I just wish there was long jump in that.
Yeah. What about you, Rybo? Where are you at with all this?
So I love Sunshine when it came out. And being a PlayStation owner, I was playing Crash instead of Mario, right? So I've gone back, and of course I played Mario 64 on the DS, and I have it now in cartridge form. But, you know, the first thing, in an ode to the guy who isn't here, Sean Capri, noted Nintendo humbug, but the friendliest Nintendo humbug you'll ever meet, it should have inverted camera controls. They all should. I think it's ridiculous that they don't. But what I would have done if I was running this show is I would have split them up. I would have remastered them, like properly remastered them. I mean, you can't just open the map in some computer software and drop it into the Odyssey engine. So, you know, it's going to take some work, right?
Yeah.
And throughout this year, I mean, they have a calendar, presumably.
Yeah.
They knew this was going to be the 35th anniversary. So why not remaster each of them and have a little special case, 35th anniversary case, right? And throughout this year, release every few months, release one of them. You could have brought in Mario Galaxy 2 that way. And you could have also included 3D World, which is coming out next year, right?
Yeah.
Then so they're what, $40 a piece, right? I mean, it's Nintendo, so you're going to pay a little bit more.
I mean, I would just to be fair, if they would have done what you're saying, right? If they would have just start now, right? If they would have said, "Hey, we're going to begin the year of Mario, and we are going to every 3 months drop you a new 3D Mario game, remastered, looking amazing," I'd have gave them $60 without even blinking an eye. I would have said, "I'll give you 60 for every single one." But to give 60 for this, I mean, I get it. It's $20 a game and whatever. So it's not really, it's like, but it's so half-hearted. It's such a half step, in my opinion. They could have done so much better in all of this. Cleva, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat. I appreciate that.
I don't disagree. I'm not a big Galaxy fan, but I do really like the first two. I just like playing them. Yeah. There's just something, but it's pure nostalgia. That's what I would have done. I would have released them each in a special case, and then collectors would have gone wild over them, limited edition, right? And then, I don't know, for the 40th anniversary or whatever, you could have packaged them all together and had 3D All-Stars then.
Yeah.
Right, of all these remasters. Because when you think about the original All-Stars, they were upgraded. They were revolutionary upgraded, but they were upgraded. And so, I don't know. It feels like a bit of a missed opportunity in a way. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy to have it.
I mean, I'm happy to have it too.
Scare you.
But I'm like, this is the case? Really? This is it? This is all we get? Like, come on, dude. It's trash. We get a couple pictures on the inside. Ooh, thank you, Nintendo. Yeah. Like,
it should have a fancy manual.
Like,
it
should have been
I
something.
think if it was 10 years ago, and that might be pushing it, maybe 15 years ago, we probably would have gotten
a lot more.
An instruction booklet with like the timeline, the chronology of Mario.
I mean,
and like
dude,
all
25 years ago, we got the All Stars. Like,
that's true.
We got a red Wii, a red Wiimote and nunchuck. We got the original Super Mario All Stars with like an art book and all this stuff, and a CD. Oh, we get the soundtrack, but we got to like carry our Switch around with us everywhere to play the soundtrack. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know.
What's scary though is that everybody's clamoring for N64 and GameCube with the online service.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna get, right?
Trash. Listen, I'm not. I've never once said I want GameCube or GameCube. GameCube. Never said I want a GameCube or GameCube.
We got you. We're picking up what you're putting down.
N64 or GameCube. Those haven't been like the ones where I'm like, I gotta have these. I gotta be like all about this. That's never been me. But I'm, me. I'm like an idiot when it comes to this stuff.
And it's like, here's the reality of the thing. Nintendo is going to get away with it because people will get the nostalgia bone for it and buy it at the end of the day. And the remasters is, the porting over, because, I mean, it's still the same ratio as they were when they were on their original consoles.
Yeah.
So the porting over of these is way easier and more cost effective at the end of the day over actually doing full remasters, and people are still going to buy it. I think the only thing, and I'm not sure because there's like stuff out there apparently that this was supposed to be announced back in April or something like that, supposedly. If that's not the case, I wonder how much of like everything that's going on right now has really impacted development for things like that to go in and kind of fix things up. Because Mario 64, we got a different version of it that took away certain glitches that speedrunners use, like the long jump going up the staircase to Bowser's Third Castle to like skip the amount of stars that you need and certain things like that. I wonder if they didn't have enough time to like go, whatever team that was working on this particular collection was that like actually went in and like tried to fix any bugs possibly, if they could even. I don't even know if they have source code for some of this stuff, you know?
It's true. I mean, it's really true, you know, but I just think that, I don't know, I would have loved a little bit more polish to it all at the end of the day. So I started playing Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And I am... Okay, so I've played this game 2 other times. Played it on the 3DS. Enjoyed my time with it. But was just like, the graphics aren't the best with this thing. Then I played it on the Wii U, which was the Wii version. And I was like, this is better. But I just wasn't feeling it at the time. So I got this. I bought the collector's edition. Thanks to you, Joe. Because Joe was showing it off a while ago. And I was like, this thing's gorgeous right there. Yeah. I'm like, this thing's gorgeous. And I already have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 collector's edition. So I was like, all right, let me jump into this. Sean and Garrett Bland, they both beat it. And they were praising. I didn't listen
I'm behind.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the episode they did. But on a Cup of Joe and Nintendo, they both did a second cup where it was kind of like a spoiler edition of this, or a spoiler episode of this game. And I am loving it. Like, I'm not to where I was in the 2 previous games, but I'm not that far off. And it is just fun. The music is so good. I enjoy the voice acting, and I enjoy the story of this one a lot. So we'll see what happens. But, RYBO, have you ever played the game, or what's your thoughts?
So I started with number 2. I had never played the first one. And Joe knows that I got to a certain quest really early in the game of trying to find something. And
the hardcore hyacinth.
The hardcore hyacinth. I could not find it, and I gave up. And I was just like, I can't do this. And honestly, the battle system kind of, like, why can I run around? I didn't get it. The first one I did buy for some bizarre reason, I think probably just to have. And I wound up starting it, and I actually quite liked what I had started with.
Yeah.
So it's something that I intend to go back to, but I just haven't given much time.
Yeah.
And so far, no hardcore hyacinth to find. So it's a good game.
Just a real thing. Mike UK, I have Toma, but I have not played it because I didn't complete 1. I didn't complete 2, so I was like, I need to just play these things. And I have a feeling this might be the time to just really me to deep dive this. Because I've been playing like for about an hour to 2 hours every day.
Nice.
I come home from work, while waiting for dinner or whatever, I'll jump in, I'll play for 30 minutes or so. If I stream that night or whatever, like after I'm done here tonight, I'll probably go play another hour until I get tired. Then I shut it down and go to bed. So I've been jumping in for, a little bit. So
yeah,
it's been fun.
Fun fact for Kingdom Hearts fans, one of the composers did music in Xenoblade 1. So if you hear resemblances of like Kingdom Hearts, it's the same composer. And I was like,
good news for Jams.
Yeah.
Is Jamsy here?
I don't think James's here. Listen,
JB?
JB's here. Listen, are you here to talk to us, or are you here to see who showed up to see you? Like, this is a podcast. This isn't like, let's see who's here. Hey,
I don't know how it works.
okay, how about this? We got Nasty Boots is here, and Tammy, and Garrett Bland is here. You got 54 people here, okay? Carrie was here. There's a bunch of people from Discord here. Lizabel's here.
Discord people.
Stop it. We can worry about that later, okay?
Well, hello to the people.
This is gonna be the worst podcast ever. I'm telling you, this is terrible. Okay, so where did Joe go now? Joe, sit up. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit.
So good.
I want to do this. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the Brotherhood, because I want to talk about the Brotherhood, and I want to talk about this nonsense that I'm sitting here being like convinced to play Payday with
Oh my god.
with Jamsey and Nasty and RYBO, and I finally get in one night. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. They don't know what they're doing. RYBO's the best of us.
The glory of it.
RYBO's the best of us, and he's the worst. And I'm like, this is terrible. But all I know is then there's one thing that happens. That is the best moment ever. I start hearing this Irish guy start yelling at Nasty and berating him. And here, it's Nasty's dad. And all of a sudden, Nasty's like, guys, I got to go to bed. I got to go. And he's like, it might be Scottish, I don't know, but whatever. And he's like, he shuts it down and leaves. And we're like, what just happened? This is the best.
Yeah.
You just confused the Scots and the Irish?
Whatever, who cares?
Civil War.
It's all the same stuff. Who cares?
Oh man.
And Joe was an expert at drugs in that game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He typically blew them up.
No, now hold on. I can explain. Gosh, this is so long ago. I remember this so vividly. There was a house mission that we were doing, and I was apparently supposed to cook particular paraphernalia. Boots turned off the power, I think, outside instead of keeping it. I don't know what happened, but he was by like the circuit breaker, and the entire house shut down, but the gas was still going, and I can't see, so the drugs all burn up, and then the house goes on fire, I guess, or something like that. I forget what it is exactly, and then the police showed up, so I was like, well, there goes me, dead in a house, not even arrested. That's it. We're done. Game over, man.
Then another. Okay, so then we have another great story. I'm at my mom's, and I'm like getting ready to buy this place or whatever. But RYBO and I used to spend a lot of nights together playing Fortnite, right?
Right.
But this one particular night we're playing, and it's me, Mr. Badbit, and RYBO. As I tell this, you might remember this, RYBO. And so I get this bright idea that I'm not good at Fortnite. And when I land, RYBO and Joe suck up all the guns, all the weapons. I can't get nothing. These two are like vacuum cleaners in Luigi's Mansion. They're just sucking it all up. So I'm like, I'm going to go over to Wayne Manor. I'm going to land at Wayne Manor, and I'll be good. So I land at Wayne Manor, and I can't shoot or kill nobody for anything. And I'm there, and I'm running around, and I start going like, RYBO, Badbit, there's someone in the house. There's someone else in the house. And they're like, where are you at? And I was like, I went to Wayne Manor, which wasn't far from where they were. And they're like, don't worry, Bobby, we're on our way, right? And I'm like, I get some weapons, and I'm hiding, because I'm like, guys, this guy is looking, he knows I'm here. He's coming for me, I need help. So, next thing I know, this guy is, I take one guy out, I think there was two of them. I think I took one guy out, but I get shot, and I'm down. And in Fortnite, if you've never played Fortnite, like when you get shot, you don't necessarily die right away all the time. But I'm like crawling around the ground trying to get shelters. This guy's trying to shoot me. He can't. He's worse than I am. He can't shoot me. And all of a sudden, I hear a crash downstairs. And the doors, all of a sudden I see building coming up, and I hear Bad-Bit go, RYBO, recover Bobby. And next thing you know, Bad-Bit chases this guy into the bathroom and downs this guy in the bathroom. And all of a sudden I hear, oh, you want to be mean to my friends? You want to be mean to my friends? Here, hold this. And he throws a sticky bomb on the guy and walks away. Boom, the guy blows up. RYBO picks me up, and they're just like, don't ever run away from us again. Just stay here for the rest of the time.
So while you're telling some multiplayer stories, I mean, we could go back to Mario Kart. We could go to all sorts of Splatoon stories. But I'd like to hear. I listened to a little show called A Cup of Joe and Nintendo.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh yes.
Okay,
go ahead.
On said show, some guy claimed,
Go ahead.
who we've all witnessed play the game before. We know.
I'm not even going to say another word. I'll let you ask the co-host and let him tell you. Go ahead.
We know all about that guy. You know, we've seen how he plays. He shoots his little gun. But he claimed to be wrecking shop with one Joe after work.
And Lizabelle.
Wait, what?
And Lizabelle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
See that what? Is there any evidence that actually happened?
Yes, and I believe I commentated some of that wrecking shopness as well. I gotta say, you don't mess with the Bobbinator in Splatoon. It was kind of crazy.
Hey, Chico.
Oh my!
Don't mess with the bad guy, man. Don't mess with the bad guy. You want to mess with me? No, man. I went in there, dude. I look it. I took
down the middle.
I took a lesson from Bad-Bit and you. You and Bad-Bit taught me how to spawn camp, and I was spawn camping, and I was taking out Lizabelle every chance she got. And the match started out.
Brutal.
The match starts out. I'm just here for fun. I just want to have fun. And then Bobby's spawn camping, and then all of a sudden the whole tone changes. People all of a sudden aren't so like, I'm just here for fun. They're getting mad because they can't even move, and I'm taking them out. And a couple weeks ago, I also took out Nasty. You were there. You were privileged to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The silence is deafening.
Something resembling.
Yeah, the silence is deafening. So, I just want to say, contrary to popular belief, Balby has gotten good at Splatoon. That's all I'm saying. So, anytime you guys want to open up the Balby lobby again, just say the word, brother.
Balby lobby. That's amazing. Wow. But I always thought you were good at Splatoon. Like, that's why I was like, oh, Bobby's here. Oh, it's about to go down.
See,
and I was not disappointed.
See, here's the thing. I've always been good at Splatoon. That's true. However, when you got everybody else involved, my goodness started to go down quite a bit.
Goodness. You realize everyone else is like, you think you're good, and then everyone else comes in and you're like, oh crap, I'm like right here instead of like right here.
JB, I got evidence on you too. I've taken you out quite a few times as well.
I found this guy simply because I found, here's a guy playing Splatoon on the internet, and I'm probably better than him. That's what I said to myself.
No, you did not. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. That is not why.
Here's a guy streaming on a Mac.
Yes.
And I think I can help him.
Yes.
Streaming on a Mac.
That's what he said to me. Because he was shocked that somebody was streaming on a Mac.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can help this guy.
And I, for the life of me, still to this day, don't understand how he managed to cobble together the system he was using.
It was crazy, dude. It was nuts. I don't even know how I did it, to be honest with you. I just started like slapping stuff together. It was so bad. It was choppy. It was just nasty. And RYBO was like, hey, man, I don't know you. Yeah, he's like, I don't know you, but I'd like to help you if I can. I'm like, I guess. What are you talking about? He's like, I could probably fix your frame rate issue. And me, I kind of got like a little ego, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I ain't got no frame rate issue. What are you talking about? That was amazing streaming. That was like better than Ninja. And then next thing you know, he's like, hey, send me your evaluation, your values on OBS. I was like, how do I do that? He's like, click here, click blah, blah, blah. I sent it to him. Then he comes back and he's like, okay, I need you to make these changes to OBS the next time you stream. I'm like, okay. And I go and I make the changes. And then he watches again. He goes, okay, send me that information again. And I send the information. And then he goes, okay, I need to make these changes now. And this went on for an easy week and a half of me submitting all the analytics from OBS, and then him spending the night, I guess, critiquing this like freaking Albert Einstein looking through code. He's like Neo in the Matrix. Just all you see is numbers and letters coming down around him, and he's like reading everything as he's walking through. Mr. Anderson, Agent Smith is down at the end of the hall, and RYBO is just like, hey man, I'm going to stop the bullets right now. And so then this was the most frustrating thing. Then he finally gets it to where it's running like unbelievably well. And then he would be in the chat going, you're dropping frames. And I'd be like, I'm not, stop it. And he's like, Bobby, you're dropping frames. And I look, and you know how OBS tells you, like, how many frames you drop. Like, right now I've dropped 0 frames the whole show. But I used to drop, like, 1 a minute. Like, every minute I was dropping 1 frame. I don't know how he knew it. I guess he was counting somehow. And he's like, sure enough, I'm dropping 1 a minute. And I was like, finally to the point, I was like, RYBO, we finally got it to the point where I'm running 60 frames. Like, can we just say this is good enough? No, it wasn't good enough. He's the one that got me.
Buy a new Mac.
Well, no, then he was like, let's partition it, and we'll stream on the PC side. So that's what we've been doing for the last year and a half or so.
So now he calls me names and throws things at me. So there you go.
I don't. Only when we play Mario Kart. Which we should probably.
I was going to say, I don't think much has changed on that department.
only when we play Mario Kart, I get like that. That gets me a little heated, the Mario Kart stuff.
Just a little bit.
So next gen, boys, what do we think?
Oh, man.
All ready?
I'm excited for that Game & Watch.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm excited for the Game & Watch. I'm happy with my Switch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably would like to get an Xbox, but I'm also and the only reason, just to be fair, full disclosure, the only reason I want an Xbox is for Arkham and Suicide Squad. That's it. You know, that's the only reason I bought a PS4, was because, to me, at that time, PlayStation was the better console over Xbox One X or Xbox One. And I was like, okay, this is the better console. Here comes the game I want. I'm going to buy this console. I bought the special edition, Arkham Knight edition, and then I bought Arkham Knight when it came out. I'm in the same philosophy here. I feel like right now, Xbox is the better console. It'll run better. The game will be better running on it, so I'm going to buy that, and then I'll get the games.
Well, here's why I ask.
Okay.
Right. Because look at the Xbox, in particular the new Xbox. The PlayStation has a couple, but they're not really launching with anything first party, right? Except for patches. Am I right? I think I'm right.
Xbox launch with anything?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What first party? What are they launching?
Not first party, but Yakuza 7's the exclusive timed thingy for consoles.
But in terms of Microsoft's output, it's just patches, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the N64 gets a really bad rap for that launch sign, right? I mean, it was a seminal game in Mario 64, and then what, right? I think Pilot Wings.
Yeah.
So,
oh,
if the next Switch were to launch with just patches, would we accept that? We'd be pretty upset about that, wouldn't we?
Sean Capri lost his mind when the Switch only had, at the time, announced like 6 games. And he's like, why am I buying this? There's no value in this. Even though it was coming with Zelda, because he wanted more than Zelda.
So are we seeing a shift in how we think? Or, like, what are we...
It's kind of hard because...
What does Nintendo do? Because they could get away with it. If anybody could get away with just launching updated versions, right, on the Switch 2, we'll call it. If anybody could get away with that and be sort of celebrated for it, it'd be Nintendo, right?
Yeah. I think where people are looking at, I mean, obviously Halo got pushed back and that hurt Xbox a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that was their big.
Well, I'm not saying it's good or bad. With
no. I know. I'm just saying. I personally think, this is me, and I've told Sean this on numerous occasions. Not that Sean works for Xbox or he's anything to it, but he's one person I can talk to on a weekly basis that's a big Xbox fan. My thing was, hey man, they should just push the console release back. Like, why in the world do both Sony and Xbox, why are they eyeing this holiday date and going like, we have to hit it? Like, dude, if you're not ready, pump the brakes and just tell people, like, give us 6 more months. Like, why would you not release with a major game like Halo if you're going to release?
And you have a bonus excuse. You've got COVID.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You have the free excuse to be like, hey, man, we can't make anything right now because the warehouses in China are messed up and all this stuff. Like, we have a real reason that people would be upset, but they would understand. If they were to push it back till just even if they were to say, like, hey, March, April, you know what I mean? Like, that to me would make the most sense. You saw what happened when Nintendo launched in March. Why not give it a shot? I don't know.
I think it's because one shot the first fire, and they're like, okay, well, the other one, we gotta compete and still have that mentality of the holiday craze. Meanwhile,
you're not gonna have the holiday craze like you normally have.
I mean, dude, these online orders have been more and more crazy. Dude, people are going crazy over Xenoblade Chronicle keychains.
Yeah.
I spent 45 minutes on my Nintendo because the site kept crashing for a pin set.
I thought you were going
So
to say
the
$45.
so the market's there online, and it's like all this stuff is going up online. They're gonna make the money, so I think they see that as the opportunity, and they're like, you know what? People are gonna order these things. They're gonna have them all shipped out, as many as we can this year. If they can make the bang for the buck, they're gonna do it. And
the one thing,
what better time than the holiday, as usual? Something uplifting.
Yeah. The one thing I want to acknowledge to just because it came up, and this was something that a lot of people are saying about Nintendo. Maggie saying the masses will go into debt at Christmas, not so much March. That's not necessarily true because that's tax season. And usually people file their taxes, get their tax rebates, and then drop a lot of money. That's the card that Nintendo took for the Switch originally, and it worked. They sold 2 million. They sold 2 million units in 1 month. Like it blew out the doors. If you have something that buys time and gives you something huge to launch with, that's the big thing. But let's put a pin in it at this point, right? These are the next 2 big things. But what if Nintendo comes out with a Switch Pro in March with Breath of the Wild 2 or something big? What do you guys think about that? Like, what does that move you guys to get excited or no?
Say that again? Sorry.
So if Nintendo comes with a Switch Pro in March, and then possibly Breath of the Wild 2, because I feel like whenever the Switch Pro launches, Breath of the Wild 2 is right there with it.
Yeah.
Like, I just think they're going to go hand in hand. That's going
to be the crossover game, I feel like.
Well, I also don't feel like the Switch Pro is kind of like a definitive, this is a new console, forget the old console. It's going to be kind of like the half step, you know what I mean?
The point 0.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know where that, maybe there's somebody in the chat that knows, but I don't know if NVIDIA has a chip that Nintendo can use.
Well, of course they do.
Like,
I mean,
well, they've been putting the Tegras in cars for the last few years. They haven't exactly been, now they just bought ARM.
Yeah.
So they have the rights, and now ARM is, I mean, they're not Intel. They don't actually make the chips, but they have the designs. So they bought a bunch of designs. Yeah. So maybe, but that takes time. So
I mean, when they launched the original Switch, right? When they launched the original, it was the T1, right? And they had the Tegra just coming out. I thought I heard there was rumors that there's a new chip coming out for NVIDIA, which then I think would free up space for Nintendo to then start buying the Tegra and let them move on to whatever they're doing with the original one. I feel like that's always going to be Nintendo's thing, to take the old chipset rather than a brand new chipset.
Yeah.
Well, that's a refined. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose probably the power, the battery
Yeah.
improvements that a newer chip would make.
Yeah.
But you get a more refined chip that probably runs a bit cooler. So
Chirong, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. He's saying waiting for Switch Pro any day now. Dude, I would love a Switch Pro.
That'd be crazy.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm playing the Outer Worlds, and
I mean, I've already got 7. I can definitely make room for number 8. That's not even blinking an eye at it.
Yeah, no, I think that being the case, like Bobby was saying, I don't think they're going to go for the newest thing. I think that ship sailed a while back where the eras of the how many bits a console has sort of thing is come and gone. I think after GameCube, when it went to the Wii was just a glorified GameCube, and the Wii U was just a glorified Wii. Switch is kind of like, okay, well, we're gonna keep just getting what's left over of a remaining batch of things, and we're just gonna keep building off that way. At the end of the day, it's like it's cost effective. They're gonna make profit over their consoles, unlike what Sony and Microsoft do, and that's just the way they go. I feel like.
Well, and there's no better chips to be using right now than mobile chips, right? Like it doesn't look as good as the other ones. The other ones still have a part, but there's more innovation in mobile chips. I mean, Apple is just killing it. And so there's more innovation in mobile than there is with Intel and AMD. So.
Well, you also have the fact that Nintendo, it's heavily rumored, that Nintendo went to a lot of developers and told them start making games on the Switch in 4K. So that's also drummed up a lot of these rumors and stuff and speculation as well. I don't believe that Nintendo will dive into 4K. I think that they're going to wait a bit before they dive there. But I feel like the reason why you would tell developers to bring games in 4K would be it's easier for companies that are already building games in 4K to port them over, as opposed to trying to then take a 4K game and then dumb it down to 1080. I think they.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, I think they do end up supporting it, but in the sense the way doesn't the PS4 cheat 4K right now? Isn't there like a method that's used that it's it projects to 4? Yeah, there you go. Where it's like it's 4K, but it's not true 4K or whatever. I feel like that's what will probably end up happening.
To me, Nintendo doesn't do realistic graphics. I think that's how they've always cheated the system to be able to do what they want to do. So for me, if I was to see Nintendo put out a game like a Breath of the Wild or Odyssey or whatever in 4K, to me that would be amazing. I can't even imagine Mario Kart in a 4K. Like their games are just. I love the cartoony games just because to me. The high res just looks so good to a cartoony game. Like, even though a game like Last of Us looks phenomenal, there's still always those moments that just go, like, it's not, like, they look very close to being real. But you can always tell they're just not real. But when you look at a game like Mario, you go, well, it's not supposed to be real. It's supposed to be a cartoon. But man, that looks like a Pixar movie. That looks like that's what gets me excited when I see stuff like that. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Joel, right? He seems
file
to be
size
in pain.
When you said 4K Nintendo games, I was just like, the file sizes. Nintendo prides themselves on those file sizes, so like how
if anybody can crunch, dude, they were doing 1080 games at 5 gigs, while other companies were doing 1080 at like 30 and 40. Like I have no fear that Nintendo could bring them games down.
I mean, loosely, a lot of them were like 900 and like barely 720 on handheld.
I'm talking about the Wii U. I'm talking about the Wii U.
Oh, Wii U, yeah.
Like they were 1080 games when Sony and Microsoft couldn't even get to 1080. Nintendo was pumping out 1080 games. Like Smash was only like 15 gigs, and it had all them characters and all that DLC to it, and like even Mario Kart was only 5 gigs, and it was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like this is crazy. So. I think if anybody could do it, they're the masters of crunch. Because you got to remember, they're the company that had to take these games and squash them down for a cartridge. You know,
Dude,
and
I need to know what their secret is. It's bananas.
it's nuts.
Like Breath of
man.
the Wild's what, 10 gigs or something like
It's not
that
even.
before
I
the
think it's less than
updates.
that. Yeah, before the updates, I thought it was less than that. But it's nuts.
Jesus,
It's nuts, man. They have it
that
crushed.
is something else.
He means file size crunch and not the bad crunch.
Yeah, yeah.
But who was? Oh, were people saying stuff about Bad Crunch?
No,
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
see the chat.
Clarifying
can't
the
see chat.
crunch, yeah.
Yeah, well,
You know,
yeah.
I try to be your voice of reason.
Listen, man. In the real world, in the real world, crunch is a thing you do because you like your paycheck and you like the overtime. I can't see how people are like, hey, man. Like when I used to work in the floral thing, that was a different type of crunch because I wasn't getting paid money to do that. I had my salary and I was paid salary. But all the people that were working with me, who were getting time and a half and getting like 3 times their normal paycheck, they were loving life, man. They're like, please, I want more overtime. Are you kidding me? It was nuts.
I think it differs job to job, but yeah.
Yeah, it all depends job to job. Yeah,
I'm always on crunch.
yeah, I left that job, man. I can't do that no more. I mean, I work 53 hours a week, and I'm like, I hate it,
Yeah.
but I look at the paycheck and I go, oh, you're beautiful. I love you. That's a beautiful thing.
That's because you haven't unboxed the iMac yet.
It's coming. It's coming.
Nintendo Live unboxing of an
I mean, I could go grab it now and bring it back and watch RYBO just start drooling all over the place. It'll be like it'll turn into a whole fest. Closing thoughts. What's some things you're excited to? Has Nintendo announced anything, RYBO, over this past couple of months, like leading forward? Like, where's your pulse at on anything coming out that has you excited?
Okay, well, first, JB and I have a proposal.
We haven't even got to the end of the show yet. Can we wait for this?
All right, we'll wait.
I ask a serious question, and he panders to the crowd all the time. Just answer the question, man.
You know, I was never a big Pikmin player, so that's a bit of a. I'm gonna probably pick it up.
Okay.
But you know, I don't even know what I'm doing in that game.
Really?
And yeah, I have
Well,
no
get
idea.
the demo. Get the demo first.
Well, I had it on the Wii U because remember on the Wii U when you bought Mario Kart 8, you got a free game. Do you remember that?
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I took Pikmin 3 and then never got around to it. But I don't know. There's not much going on, is there? Like it feels kind of
What about
like there is, but it's
it's
we don't
always
know
right.
enough.
Well,
And
what
it's a
about
ways
Hyrule
off.
Warriors?
I preferred Fire Emblem Warriors to Hyrule Warriors 1.
Yeah, but do you think this is going to be Hyrule Warriors or Fire Emblem? I think this is going to be geared more towards Fire Emblem.
Well, then I haven't seen enough of it yet to know. But if that's the case, then I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed, and that's Joe's fault. I really enjoyed Fire Emblem Warriors.
It was
I thought
really
that
good.
I
was
take
fantastic
all
game.
the blame on that
It
one.
was really good.
The reason why I brought up next gen is because I really want some new hardware. I really do.
Well, that's because that's what you
I don't
do.
think that the old one is, yeah, like the current Switch is fine, but I feel like that would be the most energizing thing, would be some sort of new hardware, even if it's not a generational leap,
Okay.
just some sort of new hardware.
To the
But I don't think it's there.
To the audience,
So-
I'm going to ignore him right now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get him hyped up right now. RYBO, what's your thoughts on the new iPhone 12? Well, is this something people should buy, or?
Have you seen the blue? Have you seen the blue?
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
blue is gorgeous.
Thank you. That blue is beautiful. Oh my god.
I haven't looked closely to the. Is it Blue Jays blue? Is that why you like it?
It might as well be.
What's
It is. It's gorgeous. The blue color is amazing. But
is the Max a lot better than the regular?
I don't know. I mean, the thing about that chip, what's interesting about the iPhone is seeing the benchmarks of that, because that chip plus will be in the new Max.
Really? Oh, the new
And I mean
Max,
that is MAC,
not the one I have,
MACS.
not the new one I have.
Yeah.
The new
You
one.
had to, because you have to run Windows. You
Yeah.
needed an Intel one.
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm most curious about on the Apple side, are these new chips, to see just how fast they are. And that iPhone will be. But I'm sticking with my 11. I don't see enough there, other than the blue and the new design. And there's no. Where are you going to get 5G? Right?
Well, that's the thing I'm looking at. The 5G is number one. But dude, not only that, this glass technology they're talking about. Like you could drop the phone and like it's almost protective now.
That's that new Gorilla Glass that they came out with.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Glass shatters.
It's glass at the end of the day.
But somebody on YouTube, hopefully not one of you, will find a way to smash one of those.
No, I would never.
Crack one of those
I would
on
never.
YouTube.
I guarantee someone's going to buy the phone, record them taking it out of the box, purposely smashing it in front of the store.
Which is
I see it. Yeah.
So wasteful.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I was glad I was able to snap you out of that little funk there and get you back to reality. So, what about 3D World? Are you excited for 3D World?
Yes.
Okay.
And the new DLC. We'll see how that goes.
I want to see what that is.
That was a great game.
Yes.
It really was.
Yes.
It's not my favorite Mario game like some others, but it's up there.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of the 3D ones, I mean, they're just fantastic games. So, yeah, I wish that was coming this year. I really do.
Well, I mean, it's not that far out though, so I can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
February. Right?
That would have been like a nice December.
Is it
going
January?
out
Is it
kind
January
of
or
thing.
February?
What is the December?
It's February, yeah. End of
Do we
February,
have a
March.
December game?
I thought
No.
it was. No, it's not Fire. It's not.
No, yeah.
Warriors.
Yeah, the Pokemon DLC. You have Zelda in
I don't know.
November
like
and
COVID
Pikmin
just
at the end of
ruined
this
it?
month.
Like there was something that COVID is kind
There's
of...
a lot of stuff that
I feel like that just ruined a lot of things. Like just overall the games industry in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so RYBO, we're gonna slowly wrap this up. Is there anything that you would like to speak about before we wrap this up?
Yes. Noted chat member, nobleman by the name of JB and I have decided that we feel like we could really run Nintendo. We have some great ideas. Like, really great ideas. I mentioned one of them earlier. JB said he'd blank with that. I'll let you fill in the blank yourself. That's probably a word you say often. Right? Now.
The answer is no.
Well, wait, you haven't heard us out yet.
I know what you're going to ask, but
We
go
have
ahead.
pooled our resources.
Uh-huh.
As a student and a musician.
Okay.
We have pooled our resources and we have come up with 5 American dollars, not Canuck bucks, American Yankee money.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to buy the name if we ran Nintendo because we fully intend to start our own show.
No. No. I'm not selling the name. I'm not selling the show because it might come back. You never know.
You know,
I can't have
hosts for that show.
I can't have you and JB soil my great show. Okay?
Well, have us on. We'll
Just
discuss
because
things. It'll be great.
Listen, just because it's an American and a Canadian doesn't mean that just is I'm going to hand it off to you guys.
We didn't even think of that. That shows that you're on a whole new level.
I'm on a different level. I can't.
You're into it.
Hold on, RYBO. I'll sweeten the deal, Bobby. If they buy it, I'll even throw in your favorite Nintendo character.
I just got a text.
It's Kirby Automatome.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
Oh, look at that.
I'm just saying.
Hold on. I just got a text from my good friend Miguel, and it says, "Don't sell the name." So I can't sell the name. Miguel's on.
Hang on. What if instead of you sending me an autograph picture, I'll send you one?
I mean,
the $5. The $5 is still on.
Listen,
the
let's be real
plus
here.
the Kirby thing, the
I know that there was a time when toilet paper was very hard to get a hold of in the United States. I'm okay. I don't need you to send me more TP. We're good.
Bobby, I'll sweeten the deal. Trying to help RYBO out. Camilla, good smile statue included in it. I mean,
You're telling me? Wait a minute. You're
Plus
telling
that
me?
Kirby thing with the squeezy mouth.
Plus
come on.
the Kirby.
I don't
Automatome.
need the Kirby thing. You keep that trash. But you're telling me you would send me Camilla
Mhm.
for the name, if we ran
For the-
Nintendo.
I'm just trying to help a
Plus
brother
the
out
$5.
there.
Plus the $5.
Plus the $5.
No, I can't. I love Camilla, but no, I can't. I'm sorry.
Will you at least have us on a show?
I just had you on a show.
Oh,
What is this? I had JB on Nintendo Talk Live. You've been on Nintendo Talk Live. Miguel said, tell Joe to keep his Play Camilla doll. Okay, so let's wrap this up with some things. For those that don't know what RYBO does or who RYBO is, because I'm sure there's some people out there, and the lights, the streaming, a lot of the technical stuff, RYBO is the brains behind it. Anytime that I have issues, I contact RYBO immediately. A few weeks ago, I'm sure you guys will remember when we had Rebecca on. I couldn't even stream on the Mac side. I got an update and it totally wiped out everything. I couldn't get it to work. He literally talked me through it and fixed it all. I want to say this. RYBO, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Because without your help, without your guidance on a lot of stuff, I would not be able to make this bubblegum show run at all. Like, you literally hold the glue. You're the glue that holds this whole thing together. And I would totally be wrecked without your help. It means the absolute world to me to be able to call you my friend, to even know you. I am so happy that you just took a chance, reached out to me, watching me stream Splatoon a couple years ago. You have been an integral part of everything that we do here. When the lights change, all the stupid stuff, blaming me with the exclamation point blame and all that stuff that we do in the streams, that is all you. People ask me all the time, like, hey, can we do this? Can we do this? And I'm like, I'll ask RYBO. This is the God's truth. I don't know how to do anything. Thank you for everything that you do for me. Because I would be absolutely lost without you. And that means the world to me. I love you dearly. Thank you. So, there we go.
That was like the virtual hug of all hugs right there.
I meant it. Even though you were kind of rude starting off, I meant it.
well, you're so welcome, Bobby. You've given me community and friends and friendship when I really had none. So, thank you so much. And I'm so glad I finally got to be on a podcast with you and Joe. That's been a long-standing mission of mine to both get there in my life and also to get you both to let me on.
Yeah.
and here's to hopefully doing it again sometime soon.
Yeah. We'll do it.
I'm always here for both of you. And I'm so glad that you're both back on this show together. That's because you're such a dynamic pair together. So
it's fun. It's been great to have Joe here. It really does. It makes me feel very comfortable doing this show and be able to bounce off of him and stuff like that. This guy's amazing.
I was just gonna say, RYBO, I mean, I've known you for what, 2 years now or something like that, dude, and like I'm just thankful for our friendship. And freaking when shit was going down for me, there we go. There's my one curse for the show.
Every show, man. Every show.
One always slips. You reached out and you didn't even know what was going on. And every time you reached out, like, I was like, damn, thanks. I needed that, man. So here's me finally getting to thank you on camera. So you're the man, dude.
And you can't see it, right? There is a lot of love happening in the chat right now for you. A lot. Carrie said, RYBO, Bibo, love you with hearts. So it's seriously, this is a blast. So for now, that is all. Next week we have Fulia is going to be our guest from Australia. The amazing Fulia will be here. And if you guys don't know who she is, go check out her streams over on twitch.tv/foolishfuji. She is amazing. She's in the chat right now. She's lovely. And we will have her on next week. So there we go. That is all. Peace out, Preston. You guys can say bye.
Bye. Thank you all. You're lovely.